Republican Rudy Giuliani has conducted his campaign in what some call somewhat of an unorthodox fashion, downplaying the early states in favor of the more delicate, rich contest further down the road. Just what the voters of New Hampshire think of that strategy is going to be clear a little later today. Mayor Giuliani, nice to have you on the program. Good morning.
Hi, Matt. How are you?
So is it true? Is that the strategy? You kind of bypass Iowa and New Hampshire and wait for Florida and New York and California?
No, I wouldn't put it that way. What I would say is we put a lot of time and attention into some of the states that are coming up later, like Florida. We've actually spent the most time in New Hampshire, and then Florida is right behind that.
If you've spent the most time in New Hampshire, how do you feel about where you're polling right now?
Because we'll find out.
You're polling in the 4th or 5th position. So what's that say about your candidacy?
We'll find out. We put a lot of time into New Hampshire. We put an equal amount of time into Florida. And then in comparison to the other candidates, some of the other candidates put a lot more time into Iowa and New Hampshire. The main thing is this is a 29-state primary caucus in 1 month. Whoever wins 16, 18 is going to be in the best position. And it's about message. I think our message of lower taxes, restraint on government spending, our message of remaining on offense in the terrorist war against us is one that is going to work in enough of the states so we'll get nominated.
It should play very well here in New Hampshire. They care about national security here. They care about fiscal discipline. Sure, you've got Mitt Romney, who was the governor of a neighboring state and has a house here, and John McCain, who won here in 2000, but wouldn't this state play perfectly to your strengths?
I think we'll do well here, but we did not want to put all our eggs in one or two baskets when you have this new, you say an unorthodox strategy, unconventional strategy. The reality is this is an unconventional election. This is a whole new way to do it with all these primaries put together in 1 month, and we'll have to see what the best strategy is.
Yeah, but the reality is also, Mr. Mayor, that over the last several weeks, all the talk has been about 6 people. It's been about Romney and Huckabee and McCain and Obama and Edwards and Clinton. You don't hear an awful lot about Rudy Giuliani. Given the front-loading of the process this year, can your campaign afford not to be on the front pages of all the newspapers during that period of time?
I believe we're in very good shape in the states that are coming up. I think this is a process. It's not just one primary, 2 primaries. It's going to play itself out over the entire month. I think as we move on now to Florida, where we have a very, very strong organization there. We've got a strong organization in California, Illinois, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and that you had to build it that way since you had a 23-state, or actually 29-state, primary and caucus within 1 month.
Do you take some comfort in the story of John McCain? Because no one talked about him for months and actually wrote him off in this thing. And here in New Hampshire, on the morning of this primary, he's a big story.
I think it's a marathon. It's even a marathon within this month. And that's the way we look at it. And we think ultimately it's going to come down to who do you think, for Republicans now, who do you think is the Republican that has the best chance to win in November? And I believe that I'm the Republican that can have a 50-state strategy with the best chance to win in November.
Quickly for you, you made a kind of a funny comment recently. You said, I haven't heard the word change so much since I worked in a bank, and that's all people wanted, change, change, change. Do you think it's the flavor of the month? Do you think people really want change, or are they just saying
people do. But the question is change in what direction? Do you want change and have higher taxes, which would be a change, or do you want change and you want lower taxes? Do you want change and you want larger central government, more government medicine, or do you want change and you want a smaller central government, a restraint on government spending and movement in terms of private insurance, relationships between doctors and patients rather than government medicine? I think as we get to analyze this, it is going to be about change, and then people are going to have to pick what direction do we want to go in.
Obviously a big day for you, waiting to see the outcome in New Hampshire and then beyond. Come spend a lot of time with us in the coming weeks, okay?
Take care, Matt.
Rudy Giuliani,
good to see you again.
Thanks very much. Good to see you as well.